ready to see your next comic? Y'all can do better than that. Y'all ready to see your next comic? Give it up for Lisa Curry, everybody.
What's up? I come from a long line of criminals. I say that proudly. And I have to tell my parents' story because all of my stuff is not outside of the statute of limitations yet, so I can't tell you my own crimes. I'm the only one that's never been arrested in my family, in my entire family, including the family dog, who's been picked up by the cops numerous times for no tags. Did you know dogs can get arrested? It's a thing. And and cops would just it got to the point where the cops would just pull up and roll down the window and be like, "Get in, Rex," and he would jump in. Like, what are you fucking idiot? You're so much faster than them. Just run. And I think, honestly, the only reason I haven't been arrested is because I play dumb really well. Oh my God. I didn't even know that was a law. Well, what are laws? Anyway, rob your boss. That's all I have to say. Anyway, when I was a kid, my parents and my grandma owned a biker bar together in Northwest Indiana. And it's a real scary little place with a bunch of really rough dudes in there. And my mom owned it with my grandma before she was married to my dad. So my dad came into the situation not knowing a lot of things. One thing he did know is that gambling is illegal in Indiana. You can gamble, but you can't do payouts, right? So you can't do the fun part of gambling. You can't do the only fucking reason anybody's gambling, okay? So after my dad marries my mom, he's there bartending one day, and we had this poker machine in the corner that we did payouts out of. But my dad didn't know where the poker machine came from. It turns out that came from a mafia connection in Illinois. And my dad would have never guessed this because my grandma is just the sweetest. She's like an angelic, well, she's dead, so she's very angelic now. And so my dad's bartending one day, and this guy comes in, and he's like, "Hey, I'm new in town, and I'm running a poker machine business of my own, and I see you guys have a poker machine. I was hoping maybe you would swap that one out for mine so I could get some business." And my dad's like, "Yeah, bet, let's do this." My dad probably didn't say bet. I mean, it was, he was like, "Yeah, of course, I want to support small businesses," and not realizing the connection. So behind my mom's back, he has that machine swapped out. So now we've said, fuck you to the mafia, and we have this new machine in. Fast forward a few months. One of the regulars of the bar is getting married, probably to another regular, because that's what happens in a town of 6,000 people. You're all regulars, and you all marry one another, and some of you are related. Yikes. So one of the regulars is getting married, and so my grandma's bartending that night. And not only is my grandma bartending, but one of the our main bartender was invited to the wedding. And so he decided to go, and my parents needed somebody to swap in. So they call this guy Bill, and they're like, "Hey, will you bartend with Mom for the night? It's just for the night for the wedding. It's just gonna be easy peasy." And Bill's like, "I don't have a bartending license, I can't." And they're like, "Oh, it's fine. You can use just this other guy that's going to the wedding. You could use his license. It's just for the night. What could possibly happen? It's what night? It's a few hours, really." So he's like, "Okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it." So he and my grandma are bartending together, and my parents are at my house getting ready to go to the wedding. And this guy comes into the bar that no one has ever seen before. Now, here's the thing. My grandma was a smart lady, but also a big old ding-dong. And so this guy comes in and sits at the bar, and he asks my grandma, "Hey, do you guys do payouts?" Now, we did payouts for the regulars, okay? Because they're not snitching on us. They're the fucking regulars. They're coming in all the time. And my grandma, just not even thinking, she's like, "Yeah, of course we do payouts." Yeah. And this guy no one's ever seen before is like, "All right, cool." Finishes his drink, leaves. An hour later, a bunch of fucking FBI guys come into the bar and arrest my grandma. And then they go to arrest, they ask the bartender, they were like, "Hey man, we need to see your bartending license." And he's like, "Oh, whoops-a-daisy." Turns out I don't have one. So they arrest him too, but before they cuff them, they're like, this guy, the bartender's like, hey, hold on, I gotta get the owner up here, like, he'll explain everything. Like, my dad, it's like, first of all, why are you roping my parents into it? They're going to a wedding, you're already under arrest. Shut the fuck up, man, just take it, get through the night, okay? So he calls my dad, and he's like, hey, Jim, you need to come up to the bar right now. And my dad's like, hey, we're getting ready to go to the wedding. What's going on? Just tell me. And he's like, I said get up to the bar right now. Because he's standing next to the FBI agent. He can't be like, yo, the FBI is here. Because then my dad would be like, yeah, exactly. We're going to the wedding. Goodbye. So my mom and dad come up to the bar, and they come like through there was a back entrance, and there was a little kitchen. And my mom's like, that sounded worrisome. I'm actually just going to stay in the kitchen. And my dad bursts into the bar, and he's like, what the fuck is going on here? And there's all these FBI agents, and they're like, are you the owner of this place? And my dad's like, yeah, what's your problem? And they're like, great, you're under arrest too, you idiot. Like, you're being a tough guy to the FBI, all right? So like, apparently this whole time my grandma is hysterical. She's crying. She's like, I just need to be able to vote still. And they're like, ma'am, please, like, what? And she's like, but you can't take away my right to vote. And they're like, ma'am, Jesus Christ, we're sorry we're even arresting you, but we have to. So what we found out later was the mob, when we gave back their poker machine, they tipped off the FBI. They were like, fuck these people. So they sent them in. And I've had people before that are like, oh, you mean the mob worked with the FBI? I'm like, have you heard of literally anything? Yes, of course. Well, how do you think they're still working? They arrest both of my parents, my grandma, the bartender. So now I don't know what's happening. It's just a free-for-all at the bar. Everybody can just help themselves. They all get booked. They get taken in. Again, this is the 80s, by the way, so no one has a cell phone. So they're just super late for the wedding, which I hate because I love weddings. So I'm like stressed out knowing this story, right? So they all get booked. They get bailed out. They go to the wedding, and they show up, and everybody's like, what the fuck happened? Why are you so late? And they're like, funny story. So the FBI came and seized our poker machine and arrested us all. And then the guy whose license they had borrowed, they're like, by the way, you're going to be arrested ASAP. Like, you have to turn yourself in. Thanks for letting us borrow your liquor license, though, or whatever. Cool. Thank you, dude. The FBI seized all their poker machines, or the poker machine, fined them like something like $20,000 or $30,000 they had to pay out, and like promised to never run any kind of illegal gambling ring again. But lucky us, we had a basement at the bar. So my parents just set up a poker table down there, because it turns out gambling is very fucking lucrative. And then we just set up a little bell at the top of the stairs. So when somebody we didn't know, or when cops came in, my parents would just ring the bell, and people would come upstairs and it'd be like, oh, we were all just hanging out in the basement. We weren't playing poker for sure. We were just having a nice little time. It's cooler down there. I continue to do crimes, and I encourage all of you to do crimes, and I'll help you, I'll coach you. I start with robbing your boss and then just fly away from there, guys. That's it for me. I'm Lisa Curry. Thank you guys so much.
Did your grandma get any prison tattoos?
No, unfortunately. That would have been great if she did, though.
She should get one just in honor of potentially being arrested or going to jail for a long time.
I just love that I can still say that I wasn't arrested, but my grandma, who like went to church regularly, was.
Do we have any questions for Lisa? Any questions? What do we got?
How much time your family did?
They just paid like tens of thousands of dollars in fees. My family, people get arrested so frequently that I don't know if there's like a bail fund or something. Like, everybody just, like, we don't have money to pay bills, but we have enough money to bail each other out of jail constantly.
Any other questions for Lisa?
Have the new laws on sports betting like affect the business plan?
Oh, I don't know.
So
Can they get on DraftKings? Because that'd be really sick. They can get on DraftKings.
Yeah, my parents sold it when I was like 7 so they could run other grifts at another business. So
Like what?
they bought a marina after that and then just kind of like cooked the books.
What
Yeah.
happens at the marina? Illegal boat activities. Somebody didn't have a permit. Watch out. Okay. All right, we got one more question. Yeah, is Tony Soprano coming after you now?
Does the mafia forgive
I wish
and
that would be
forget?
such a good story. Yeah, well, I think because the other guy's machine was seized, they were like, great, there you go, fuck you. Like, that's that.
Did they,
and then my
did
mom
they
was
rat
like,
on you guys?
Yeah.
They read it on
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
I love that.
And then,
You
And then
can't
my-
trust Italians. I've said it forever. You cannot trust Italians.
I gotta say, this is what happens when men just make decisions out on their own willy-nilly without confronting their partner, right? Like, had my dad asked my mom, can I swap out the machine? She would have been like, no, you ding dong, we're working with the mafia.
Yeah. Willy-nilly, does that come from
I don't know. Between willy-nilly and ding dong, I feel like my grandmother is here.
Yeah. That's actually Colton's and I's nicknames for tonight.
Your mom's dead?
She's alive.
Oh.
All right, we got a couple text messages that came through. Poured water on a guest puppeteer, you could have just said pedophile, at a school assembly. Which makes me wonder, was there a resident puppeteer?
Also, I want to know what he was teaching. He's like, rape is bad.
Wait, is
It's like
that
in front of the
worst?
kids, in front of the kids, there's kids. Whoa,
Is
sorry.
that the worst thing you've ever done?
Yeah, that's pretty heinous. That's actually a vigilante. That's somebody doing the right
Jesus
thing. Are you
Christ,
kidding?
yeah. They gotta get up in the morning and go to church. You better go.
No. But
Get
also,
away.
was it a cup of water or like a bucket of water? Because that's, it's like, this is inconvenient, but a bucket of water is like ruining your puppet hand, you know?
All right, guys, give it up for Lisa Curry real quick.